Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP, but in this video, I'm also going to talk about the major announcements around crypto as well, like we see here. The IRS has filed a court petition to enforce a summons for the information from Kraken. The U.S. Internal Revenue Service has filed a court document seeking permission to enforce a summons for information against the Kraken crypto exchange and its subsidiaries. I told you back when Elizabeth Warren initially came out with that framework around crypto regulations, where she wants to know what everybody's holding in cold storage wallets. It's all about the tax money. That's what they really care about. According to the petition, the IRS is conducting an investigation to determine the identity and correct federal income tax liability of U.S. persons who conducted transactions in cryptocurrency for the years ending December 31st, 2016, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And that's what it's always been about for these politicians. Make sure you get all the people paying their fair share. Crypto exchange Kraken agrees to shut down staking following SEC charges. CoinDesk has reported that crypto exchange Kraken has agreed to shut down its crypto staking operations following SEC charges. The U.S. regulatory agency conducted a closed-door session today, with the industry sourcing reporting a briefing taking place on the Kraken settlement, and they settled for $30 million. And yet, people inside of crypto don't realize that this case with the SEC versus Ripple is out there fighting for all of crypto. Never forget that. It's all out war by the SEC. Crypto lawyer comments on rumors about ban of ethereum staking. The crypto space has been disturbed by rumors of a possible U.S. Security and Exchange Commission ban on cryptocurrency staking for retail customers. One of the first to report the news was the head of Coinbase, the country's leading cryptocurrency exchange, which recently provided Ethereum staking to its customers. John Deaton, longtime SEC fighter, attorney, and XRP holder, representative, also had something to say on the subject of a possible tighter regulation of the crypto sphere. The expert said that the commission is waging all-out war against the crypto industry, and the regulator's head, Gary Gensler, is not about to give up. That's why it's very important that Ripple wins this case. I don't care what Vitalik said about this being a Ripple case and not their problem, pretty much. Guess what? This is a problem for all of crypto, what Gary is doing. And I hope that Ripple wins, because that'll be a huge day inside of crypto. Today's action against Kraken illustrates how important the Ripple case is. Crypto needs a win. It needs someone to stand up to the SEC and say no. The SEC is not a king. They do not make the laws. Congress' failure to act is killing us. I pray the court gets this right. I pray they do as well. I hope this judge sees through all the corruption that's going on at the SEC. Today, we charge Kraken with failing to register the offer and sale of their crypto asset staking as a service program, whereby investors transfer crypto assets to Kraken for staking in exchange for advertised annual investment returns of as much as 21%. And this is a U.S. problem as well, because Gary is holding back innovation inside of this country. The rest of the world is pushing forward while we're being left behind. So interesting. What did the internet break on 2/9/23? If you all know, if you were online yesterday, Twitter was down. Facebook was partially down. YouTube was partially down. Instagram was partially down. Now, a lot of people said this is a test run ran by Klaus Schwab. It's all about the Great Reset. But again, you see how people right away look at the Great Reset when something like this happens, because we're all expecting this to happen. Hey, Mr. President, do restaurant servers make over $400,000 a year? The IRS plans to target food servers' tips. How pathetic is that? You know, some of these people can barely make ends meet, yet they want to look at their tips that they're making. Like I told you at the beginning of this video, it's all about the money. Mr. President, you are not telling the whole story. Tax proposal will cancel all federal taxes and abolish the IRS. Income taxes, payroll taxes, estate too, and gift taxes. Taxes on corporate income and capital gains. In place of those taxes, a flat 23% national sales tax would be collected. I would be 100% in favor of this. Think about it. We're all about to get life-changing money from our crypto investments. Think about not having to pay capital gains tax. That would be huge, in my opinion. The Fair Tax Act of 2023 was introduced in the House on January 9th by Representative Buddy Carter. If passed, it would repeal all federal taxes, including the federal income tax, abolish the IRS, and enact a national sales tax. And while they're at it, maybe they should abolish the Fed as well. You see how far the Fed has got us over time. Bank of England mentions Ripple in new CBDC paper. And we see here, Bank of England just released a new consultation paper about the potential of the new digital pound, which may one day serve as the country's CBDC. Central banks around the world are looking into pilot programs for CBDCs. So the Bank of England being involved in this is not a surprise for many. What is considered extremely positive news for Ripple is the fact that the consultation paper specifically mentions Ripple's technology as part of the essential innovation that comes from the private sector. This is going to be huge. I'm telling you right now, people are overlooking the value of XRP. Right now, it's sitting very low, undervalued, underappreciated, held down by the SEC. When it finally explodes, it's going to shock the entire crypto space. Standard Chartered and Alipay partnership enables cross-border QR payments. And again, Standard Chartered is a partner of Ripple, and they're out there partnering with other companies, all coming together, forming the new financial system. That's what you really got to pay attention to. You got to make all the connections because it shows what's actually happening. It's hard to put into words how big this really is. It's going to be huge. SEC Commissioner says her colleagues performed a shorthand analysis of XRP. Now, this is coming from Hester Pierce. She says in a recent tweet, XRP Pro attorney John Deaton knocked the SEC for arguing that XRP represents both the common enterprise and the expectation of profit prongs of the Howey test. Deaton expressed surprise that the SEC could reach such a conclusion despite not evaluating each transaction individually. The SEC doesn't go transaction by transaction and argues that XRP embodies or represents both the common enterprise and expectation of profits prong of the Howey test, said Deaton. The founder of Crypto Law backed his comment by saying that even SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce, sometimes called Crypto Mom, admitted that her colleagues made a wrong call in evaluating XRP as a security. So we know that XRP is not a security. Other countries throughout the world know XRP is not a security. Only Gary Gensler is calling it a security, and yet he didn't even put it through the right testing. And yet we're still stuck in this lawsuit after what, little over 2 years now, and possibly we won't have an outcome until the middle of this year. So according to Deaton, the SEC commissioner acknowledged that her colleagues at the SEC performed a shorthand analysis of XRP, which led them to focus on the token itself instead of the conditions surrounding the token sales. We never expected anything from Ripple the day we bought our XRP. None of us did. Some of us didn't even know what Ripple was or how Ripple was tied to our investment early on. The SEC, 395 major legal actions, 1998 to 2020, $195 billion in fines issued. Banks are still allowed to continue ripping people off and making profits when it comes to crypto. Oh no, we can't let people control their own money. That's why Ripple fights for all of us. Everybody that holds crypto, every company inside of crypto, every crypto out there is in the same fight. And Ripple is leading the charge at this moment. A win for Ripple is a win for all of crypto. When sending SWIFT messages, you're sending messages to banks to release liquidity and make sure the debits and credits match to some degree. Ripple is competing with the liquidity of Citi and the messaging of SWIFT, but in one, because we are both messaging and liquidity. Brad Garlinghouse. When you can do both and you can sum it all up in one company, it's going to be so much easier for banks to work with Ripple and utilize XRP in the future. Yet people still don't understand the value of that on-demand liquidity. Wait until it's paying off countries' debt in the future. So why would Joel Katz mention the price cannot be low? Why would they create 100 billion XRP? What was the point, Joel Katz? Now, I feel that he was making an example. He was saying, listen, if it's cheap, it doesn't make sense. If it's expensive, it makes much more sense. And I believe the 100 billion tokens were created for a reason. There's 195 countries in the world. Then you got to look at all the banks throughout the world. Plus, Ripple is also targeting enterprise and major companies as well to utilize their same product and on-demand liquidity as well. That's most likely why there's 100 billion tokens. And yet people still don't realize at some point there can be a shortage as far as XRP in the future. I call this my Bob Way Chat GPT simple XRP valuation. I'm here because I agree with the people that left fancy jobs to join Ripple. I'm assuming XRP gets 10% of the global cross-border payments market. $30 is not so crazy. And if you really give it some thought, it's not crazy. In fact, it makes sense as we see right here. So the international payments market is extremely large and is estimated to be worth trillions of dollars. According to a report by the World Bank, global cross-border payments amounted to over $30 trillion in 2020. This market is expected to continue growing as international trade and commerce increases and more people move money across borders for various reasons. The rise of digital technologies and the increasing adoption of online platforms for financial services have made it easier and faster for individuals and businesses to make cross-border payments, which has further driven the growth of the international payments market. With these developments, the market is likely to continue expanding and evolving in the coming years. So what is 10% of 30 trillion? 10% of 30 trillion is 3 trillion. What is 3 trillion divided by 100 billion? 3 trillion divided by 100 billion is equal to 30. That's how quick you could get to $30 per XRP. But yet that's going to continue to grow year over year as well. And I believe Ripple is going to steal more and more business away from SWIFT year over year. Or they're going to partner together somehow so SWIFT can utilize XRP for on-demand liquidity or maybe speed up their transactions through RippleNet. But we are sitting here watching this all get built out little by little. And if you're expecting XRP to automatically just have this massive price in the short term, I don't think that's going to happen right away. I think it's going to happen gradually over time. But I do believe it's going to be a high price stable coin in the future. But in the short term, I believe we're still going to see major run-ups with pullbacks here and there. Say it runs to $13 after the case settles. Once it hits $13, it's going to have a pullback. Then it'll go back up in value as well. Plus, banks will come on board pushing the price up. That's why you have to have the stomach for this when it happens. That's why I explained it in yesterday's video a little bit about pullbacks short term. There's going to be people selling at $13, and they're going to be happy with that. Maybe they never buy back when it drops down to $7 or $8. But then it'll run up to maybe $20, $30 over time. It'll have another pullback. until they put a set price on XRP. And that I believe will come later, most likely in 2025, when everything goes live as far as ISO, every single country in the world utilizing it. That's when it'll hit those really high numbers, in my opinion. But again, your opinion might be different from mine. And that's why, I always tell you, put it in the comments down below, because I like to see what your thoughts are on this as well. I'm not saying I'm 100% right on anything. I'm human, just like you. A lot of what we talk about is speculation still, but I like to base a lot of what I say on facts. That's why I point out facts in my videos, showing you how XRP could get to this price number short term, this price in the long term. But with that said, I'm going to wrap up today's video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you watching my videos. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.